everybody, it's Douglas Block. It is February 2nd, 2020. It is Groundhog Day and the Super Bowl. And the day after the United States Senate voted not to call witnesses. That's bizarre, isn't it? Can you guys hear me? Okay, I don't see anybody watching on here, but I must be public. Jason Cluo, are you able to hear me okay? Taco Plata, wow, it's been a while since you've joined. James D. from Scotland, and Kay Bailey, nice from the south of Texas, probably warmer than it is here. Andrea, yep. First thing to remember is that you cannot control fear of thinking happy thoughts. You cannot control fear by thinking happy thoughts. Well, how do you control fear, Laura? Okay, my. Today's a fine day knowing I'll see you soon on this channel. Yes, Mr. Powder. I know what to say. It's a darkening day and my mind just keeps running away with these fears. It's all day constantly worried about what if. Hey, I'm doing a video called Do You Live Too Much in the Future? Take a deep breath, feel your body, and come back to the present. Okay, I have the spirit in Bearfield that won't go away. It's hard to conceive your mind when you do this. Okay, anyway, I'm glad you're all here. I'm glad you're making comments. And there's a number of things special about today. In America, it's the Super Bowl day. And what is special about this number? Can you all say that? 0202-2020? What is special about this number? Tell me, somebody who knows math, somebody who's been paying attention. Let me see if we got any answers here. Hi, Chums. Hi, Saquin. Hey, Real Gaming. Do you have an experience with depersonalization? Nope, I don't, but my friend Noah does. It's a palindrome. Anthony Olsen teaches mathematics. He's a piano player. He's a genius. Yes, because it goes 02022020. The first time in 911 years we've had that, because it even works. Does it work in the British way to do things when you hit 22? No. You do the month, you do the date, the month, and the year. It does. It does work with the Brits. 0202-2020, whether you do it the European way or the American way, whether you put the month first or whether you put, as we do the month first, the Brits do the day first, but it still works as a palindrome. The first time in 911 years. Can you believe it? It's a beautiful day. Yes, yes. Have you read or followed Eckhart Tolle? What are your thoughts on his teachings, TB? Yes, I'm quoting him tremendously in my new video coming out next Saturday called Do You Spend Too Much Time in the Future? The Power of Now was a book I read extensively for this video. The Law of Attraction, Valuable Study and Use in Life? Yes, and modified. You just can't, wish to be president and you're president, but our thoughts have powerful impacts on how we think and the way we live. Yes, so I don't know what an angel number is, but I know that 0202-2020. And guess what? On 0222-2020, I'm turning 71, 3 weeks from yesterday. All the right places. We should talk more about depersonalization. I've had it my whole life, but just got diagnosis 1 week ago. Well, who can help all the bright places? As I say, I've never experienced it personally. I've had a couple of group members who have. I know it's a kind of anxiety disorder, and they've told me, just don't pay attention to it, just focus, just let it be in the background, kind of like intrusive thoughts. I've never had to deal with it directly, so maybe somebody else can help out. It could be that just being a depressive for so long becomes part of one's personality. Yes, Eeyore the donkey in Winnie the Pooh. Tomorrow, my hometown team, Kansas City team, is in the Super Bowl. I've not watched it though, not a sports person. Well, I'm kind of hoping to win, even though I love San Francisco because they haven't been here in 50 years, and I like the young quarterback. How many of you people actually follow football? American football? Probably like 1 in 1,000, I'm guessing. By the way, wait, your birthday is also February 22nd? Well, sure it is. George Washington's birthday, although they don't know that in America anymore because they have this moronic thing called President's Day, which is the third Monday of every month. Lyndon Johnson, thank you. People used to bow down and say, thank the Lord on my birthday because it was George Washington's birthday. I guess in the UK, they don't give a hoot. All right. I don't know what an angel number is. What is an angel number? Somebody tell me. First time backwards and forwards in 900 years. That's right. Absolutely right. Sequin, nice to hear from you. I don't think I've heard from you before. Again, depersonalization, we need some help. Is there a coronavirus threat in your country? Not really, but there's been an overreaction to it. I mean, my God, people closing their borders. Come on now. Hi, nice to see you from Pennsylvania. I love it. Germany, of course, all the bright places. Where's MD Nixon? Son, of course, from Denmark. Always nice to see you. And Taco Plotter gave his $5. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. $5 Canadian, but hey, who cares? It's the thought that counts. Try to go shopping or just do something. Absolutely. I've spent days watching YouTube. It can be hard, but Anthony, don't you teach and don't you also play the piano? Last week was my 1-year anniversary when I slipped into a suicidal depression. Doing great now thanks to therapy, meds, and your videos. Thank you, Taco. I have a new book on suicide prevention with some really good chapters. If you would like to read some for free, I need some comments from people who have been there and back. Please email me, will you? It's Douglas Block, Taco. I'd love to hear from you at gmail.com. I want to send you free copies of this upcoming book that I'm writing. And here it is. There's my email right there. Jay Dixon says, when I was in kindergarten, the teacher asked whose birthday it was on the 22nd. All the kids said that was my birthday, and the teacher said, yes, but who else? And I said it was what? You've incompleted the sentence. You haven't finished the sentence. It was George Washington's birthday. Now, here's the key, Jay Dixon. Were you born in 1949? Because if so, I'll give you $100. That was the year I was born. Political Wonder News says, why do I feel like I can't breathe that well when I feel anxious? I feel like my whole body is falling asleep, like whenever your leg falls asleep from a long time not moving. Well, most of the time people can't breathe because they're in a hyperventilative state because they're in fight or flight. Doesn't sound like you're in fight or flight, so I don't really know the answer to that question, but hopefully your doctor or a psychiatrist will know. I love Santorini. How long did you suffer from depression? When the sperm first hit the egg. That was basically in 1948. But I really started to know it when I was about 2 years old. Taco, nice to hear you. Yes, I love Taco. He's always got something positive to say and a contribution. And speaking of which, we a couple of years ago, feels like that, a couple of weeks ago, we had a record number of donations here. Thank you, Taco, for starting it, and I'm hoping some other people can contribute. Of course, Robert has been super, super generous. Oh, and there's Mohammed. Depression can be managed but can't be cured. This means I'm destined forever to live in this pain, can't withstand the pain no more. Well, managed means, look, let's think there's a 1 to 10 scale, right? 10 is suicidal depression, 1 is I feel great. You can bring that number down to a 2 or 3, meaning the absence of symptoms. Or if you reverse it, 10 is I feel great, 1 is I feel, I want to die. Then you can get to a 4 or 5. So no, you're not going to be totally happy, but you're not going to be in the place you're in. No, managed doesn't mean having to stay in the level of pain you're in. It means you can have some good days. Nice, James Brand. Hello, Brighton, UK. Found you recently benefited from your wise advice. Call this the Hope Hour. That's funny because I'm writing a video this afternoon called Do You Feel Hopeless? All about the effect of hope on physiology, on your body. Here's, nobody will know this, but I'm going to say it anyway. A very famous writer said this. I want you to tell me who the writer was. You won't know that. But what does this mean? You don't even have to tell me who wrote this. But this is so important. Okay, the sentence is, hope is physiologic. What does that mean and who said it? And why is that so important? Happy 02/02/2020, a palindrome. The next one will be 03/03/30/30. Thank you very much. And guess what? I don't think anybody here is going to be alive in 110 years. No. Is that 1,010 years? Yikes. No. Will the planet be here? That's the bigger question. Hey, Lyle. Nice to see your footprints. Can anxiety manifest itself in lots of forms? Yes, all sorts of forms. Remember, it's an overamping of the nervous system, either due to the amygdala or the prefrontal cortex. I have an amazing video I did, second most popular video on the channel. I love this video. It's called How to Rewire Your Anxious Brain. You don't think your depression is coming back anymore, chums? Well, I don't know. I just did a talk on relapse. By the way, hey, you guys need to go to this website, Giving Voice to Depression. It's actually a podcast site. And I was featured last week. It was this week. I am their current podcast person, the most recent. And I want you to go ahead and go there because I gave a wonderful interview to this wonderful woman named Terry McGuire, who runs the thing with her sister. Anyway, go check it out. Next week, I want you to tell me what you thought of it. Everybody seems to have liked it. Okay, tinnitus causing depression, exacerbating it. I had a guy in my support group who was being driven crazy by the ringing in the ears. It made his depression worse. Yes, the state of being annoyed, irritated, or pissed off also means being bugged by someone. Yes, but by something. Yes, but if it comes without any external stimulus, then it's internal anxiety. Dave Durango, patience and courage. It can't be long, but things get better. I promise you. Yes, you're right, Kosi. But boy, it's hard to wait. You need other people. I love spontaneity, and depression can cause tinnitus. I don't know. You'd have to go to a neurologist. I just think that it can make the symptoms worse, and vice versa. Causing tinnitus, that's not for me to answer. Probably not. Seems like a lot of us lost hope here. I hope things change. Well, that's why hope is so important. Jesse Jackson, the great African-American politician, used to say, "Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive." Remember that? Hardly any Americans tuning in anymore, huh? Raise your hand if you're from America. Speaking of which, who was here last week when, right as I came on the moment I came on the live chat, I had some very sad news. Who was here when Kobe Bryant, you learned that Kobe Bryant died in an air crash? Has anybody been watching the media in America or even overseas? I have never seen this kind of reaction from the death of a sports figure ever in 71 years, ever, ever, ever. Evidently, he was doing a lot more than just being a basketball player. He was an Oscar. Thank you, of course, Robert Jenkins. My God, I mean, I should take you to the Caribbean for all you've done. I'm doing good so far. Thoughts come, but they don't stay long. That's excellent. I feel a lot better with the mood enhancers. You mean chemicals, medications? I'm still doing my weekly therapy and journal writing. I need to start working out, though. Don't forget to check Patreon. Thank you. Didn't I do that last time you wrote me? I'll do it again. Thanks. So, keep going. Yes, no one has answered the question, what does hope is physiologic mean and who said it? Jem, anxiety through the roof today and life feels totally hopeless. Oh, well, hey, feelings come, feelings go. I love Jem. She and I have a nice conversation. She lives somewhere in the UK. Stare at a candle 30 minutes a day to focus your mind. Yep. You're American, Caleb? Well, have you heard about Kobe Bryant and the horrible tragedy? It comes and goes, hope, but when it's active in me, it's great, of course. I feel like every week an inch closer to suicide. Dave Durango, well, you need to go ahead and get my new book, because this has all sorts of things that are going to help you keep hope alive and stay around. DouglasBlock@gmail.com. Please send me an email. You know that what you're feeling now, you're not always going to feel. And just because you can't see a way out of your pain, it doesn't mean there isn't a way. Every time I've been in a bad depression, I've always told people, I'll never get better, there's no way out, I'll never get better. That's my brain playing tricks on me. It's not giving me the right information, and your brain is playing tricks on you too. You can and will get better. And if you need to, send me an email and connect with the people here, Dave. That's what this is about. Helping each other. I love centering. I lost my ex-boyfriend to cancer. I have 2 years depression. I'm trying not to think about it, start feel better. Well, of course, the number one cause of depression in a video I wrote is loss of a loved one. Attachment theory. We are bonded from the get-go with our mothers or our caregivers. When we lose that, it sends us spiraling down. That's why so many people are bummed out about Kobe Bryant and all the other 8 people on the helicopter, which I don't think had proper instruments, by the way. Shanab KK, nice to see from you. So Kobe Bryant said this. I was going to play you a video of his, and I couldn't find it. He said that basketball taught me about focus, to be the best you can be. And he said everybody is in their own box, in their own world. Your job is to be the best that you can be in whatever you're doing, and then you will have succeeded. So I'm trying to be the best YouTube depression teacher that I can be, and I'm working at it every day, and also the best writer and the best friend. Our brain is not always right, says Caleb. Just because it says something doesn't mean it's true. Yes. We got to give things time. Go, Caleb. Go, Caleb. Go, Caleb. You are so right. Thank you for what you just said. I need to hear it. I think it was about don't pay attention to your brain. It tricks you. Caleb hits it on the head. Wow. The goat had 2 babies today on Monday. After Kobe and daughter passed, a boy and a girl, so I named them Mamba and Gigi in honor of them. Wow. I started crying in the grocery store seeing their pic on the magazine. Well, you're from California. Suzanne, Lazy Eye Ranch, you're the only person in this live chat who's from California. You more than anybody feels the pain of that loss. Any word from Noah? Robert Jenkins. You're a good man, Robert. I've been texting him, I've been calling him, and I'm emailing him, nothing. But I did wish him happy birthday. He turned 33 on January 31st on Friday, and I did wish him a happy birthday, and he loved the comment but did not reply to me. So you go write to him also, or post something on his YouTube. At David Durango, this is just my opinion. They help for anxiety, no doubt, but for depression itself, they are less efficient. At least they were not efficient for me. Exercise is more useful. I'm not quite sure what you're referring to, but because the comments are going so quickly. Yeah, Trataka meditation is using candlelight, and we talked about that last week. Shannon KK, I'm suffering from anxiety. Join the club. It's the most common mental health disorder in the world. And check out my video, How to Rewire Your Anxious Brain. Exercise, breathing, and positive self-talk are the three things I can tell you right now that'll help you in defeating your negative self-talk and beliefs, the three things that can help with anxiety. Joe West says, I'm working through chapter 7 of your Healing from Depression book. Is that week 7 where I talk about self-esteem, or is that chapter 7 of the memoir where I'm saved by prayer? Shauna BB, Shauna KK, always worried about life. Yes, well, that's called generalized anxiety disorder. You should go into treatment or find someone to help you with that. You can change the way you think. My parents have been very abusive. I tried to forgive them, but could not. They caused all this pain. They're still my parents. My mother's very cruel. Well, maybe you're not ready to forgive them now, but the question is you need to forgive yourself and love yourself and get the help you need. Jay Dixon, you're from California. Well, what do you think about Kobe? Did you follow the Lakers? Pixelbot 2000, I'm from Southern California. Whoops, that's going too fast. I need to read your comment here. Okay, even if you're not a basketball fan, it's a local story for Seoul. Will impact the community for a long time. Absolutely. Robert Jenkins says, I find music lately to help. Listening to Pure Moods, which is from the 90s, really helps keep my mind calm. Well, music is one of the greatest mood alterator. Enhancer. Music is one of the biggest mood enhancers. Since I'm anxious all the time, is that an anxiety disorder? Political world war news. I cannot diagnose over the internet, but being anxious more than that is one of the 6 symptoms of an anxiety disorder. I suggest that you go find a good counselor, therapist, psychologist, psychiatrist, and get properly diagnosed. And if you do get diagnosed, it is treatable. But being anxious all the time is not normal, I can tell you that, but don't worry. It's just a disorder. It's just your brain. You can reprogram your brain. We are flexible. The brain is neuroplastic. It can change. It can heal. No one has yet answered my question about what does hopus physiologic mean. I'll have to tell you in a second. Resilient life. I developed anxiety when I unexpectedly had a stillborn baby. Wow, in 2018. My son, Kobe's death made the anxiety service even worse, as I was a huge fan. I'm an American. Probably triggered your loss, didn't it? Week 7, how do you like the book so far, Joe West? What do you think about my talking about self-esteem? What do you think about week 5, making your mind your friend? Jem says, the loss of loved ones is creating a huge panic. Thank you for your channel, Douglas, and how you impart hope and practical tips. I love you, Douglas. I love you too, Jem. Pay for my trip over to England. I'll give a lecture tour there. And I might come anyway, because I love the UK. Sometimes the best you can do is just breathing. That's right. By the way, has anybody ever heard of CALM, C-A-L-M, something against living miserably? It's a site in the UK for especially young men. Maybe it's the campaign against living miserably. Wow, these birds are aggressive. They're fighting over the food. Oh my goodness. Lila Kerr says, worry is a waste of time. Please realize that. Yes, yes. Well, we're 19 minutes into the hour. We've had 2 donations. How about making it a third? We're up to 63. Last time we hit 80. Again, how come intrusive thoughts feel so real and true? It terrifies me that our mind can be our worst enemy. Rizzo's, you hit the nail on the head. Our mind can be our worst enemy. Depression, schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, narcissistic personality disorder, you name it. Every mental health disorder there is the brain turning against us. Well, the heart can do the same thing. We can have heart disease. We can have lung disease. We can have asthma. We can have kidney disease. Depression, anxiety is a brain disorder. Let me type that out in all caps, okay? I know my chair is squeaky. Say about that. The word is brain, And this is also true for addiction. Brain disorder. Okay, so we have a brain disorder. Everybody in this channel has a brain disorder. But the question is not what is it, but what can we do about it? Hey, that's what my books, my workshops, my teachings, everybody else's teachings are all about. How to heal and change our brains. Boy, oh boy, it's a lifetime process. All right, Nara John says, I feel like living in a false hope. Every Mormon feels burdened, emotional pain, praying every day not to wake up again. Well, I'm sorry you're in that much pain. Has anyone seen any research on marijuana being microdose for depression? Psilocybin mushrooms, yes. Marijuana, no. Wow. Well, Jay Dixon, yeah. Kobe meant a lot to a lot of people. Shanab KK, help me please. Well, you're here. How can we help you? One of the things I can see is find a good mental health counselor or professional. Yes, of course there's a cure to change your situation. You're not broken forever. Nobody is broken forever. Griya asks, are you awake again? Well, so am I. All the bright places. I'm working in the library and I'm studying. Well, good for you. Good for you. Why do I feel my throat tighten every time I swallowed food? Because that, again, was the fight or flight mechanism to tense thing up. Really? They don't offer much counselor in New Zealand, a very advanced Western country? Mental health problems are huge, but no help? Wow. Why would there be huge mental health problems in New Zealand? It's such a beautiful place. And probably not a whole lot of stress, like America. Okay, so hope is physiologic means this. Yeah, why don't we get closer? I look like I'm a million miles away. Anyway, it means that hope, the emotion hope, the feeling of hope, actually creates physical changes in the body. Bernie Siegel said that. He wrote a book called Love, Medicine, and Miracles. That was a New York Times bestseller. And he worked with what are called exceptional cancer patients, people who would not give up and who stubbornly clung to life and had hope. Now, we all know that cancer is terminal depending on the type of cancer, so it wasn't a miraculous cure, but he did notice that those people who had hope and a will to live seemed to either get better more or live longer. So there's a very famous story in a book called The Choice about the concentration camps of Auschwitz that one of you folks recommended to me. It's about a woman who was very frail, horribly physically sick, and yet each day she continued, and people said, how could you do this? Why are you staying alive in these horrible conditions? She said, oh, that's because on Christmas Day, the Allies are going to come and liberate us. I'm marking it off on my calendar. Guess what? When Christmas Day came and the Allies did not come, she was dead in one day. The doctor said she died of typhus, but you know what she really died of? Loss of hope. Loss of hope is the worst thing that can happen to a person. It's one of the major symptoms, or the primary symptoms of suicidal thinking, that and chronic pain. So, I want to hear from you guys. When you lose hope or feel hopeless, what do you do? How do you regain hope? That's a really critical question. I feel sadder. Sorry, Shanab KK, I know you're in pain. Well, I missed a lot of quotes while I talked about that story, a lot of questions, so I got to kind of... Funding problems is hiking me. Okay, Laila Kaur says anxiety is a part of life. Accept it. Greetings from the Netherlands, Joseph. I'm watching your video with my 9-month-old son. He loves your voice. I hope he'll never need you, however. Well, that's being selfish. No, of course you're right. Honestly, with all these health issues and the health anxiety, I just feel like I can't do it anymore, to be honest. Well, you can do it anymore. Hang in there, Greya. There are things, there are treatments. There's always something around the corner. Joe West says, all good so far. I've forgotten the subjects of the previous chapters. What? Someone reading my book and can't remember what they wrote? My. But I feel I'm acquiring the building blocks of recovery, so all is hopeful. Well, as long as it's sinking in somewhere. Lazy Eye Ranch, good news. My son and I are both going to group therapy. We're doing much better. We weren't communicating as we should. I'm going to stop expecting him to be normal and learn about schizophrenia. Well, that's a good thing, Lazy Eye Ranch. You have to accept people wherever they are. And it's not an easy thing to have a schizophrenic child. But you know what? That's how the National Alliance on Mental Illness was formed. NAMI, do you have a local branch in your area, Lazy Eye Ranch? Whoops, sorry, I hit that. www.nami.org. you should go ahead and go to your, why is this not working? Okay, let's try it again. www.nami.org. Yeah, Suzanne, go to that website, find out some NAMI groups in your area. It's all about helping parents who have children or family members with mental illness. And it was started by a group of women who had children who were schizophrenic. All right, what other questions can we answer? It's now 25 minutes to have. We have 71 people watching. We're due for a donation to somebody. Some of you people who come here every week. Robert Jenkins, all you can really do is live for the here and now. Absolutely. The past is the past, the future is future. The present, the here and now is the gift. That's why they call it the present. Marco, I've suffered from panic attacks which have stopped. However, I have a persistent problem with lowers quality of my life, which lowers quality of my life. I feel upset and aroused all the time. All of a sudden wake up. Well, you're having generalized anxiety disorder or something like that. Get thee to a professional. Get thee to a mental health therapist. Get thee to a psychiatrist. Get thee to treatment, to quote Hamlet. I am the best. Well, thank you. You know what? Joe Osteen has a new video called The Two Most Powerful Words That Can Change You. They are I am. Anything you put after I am becomes you. I am love. I am wonderful. You know, I'm a piece of crap. Now, you don't want to say that. That's using the I am incorrectly. El Tigre, I'm going through hell, but as you said, keep going. Hope to see the light too. You will. You will. You know, Tigre, if you go ahead and email me, I'll send you a free ebook. Here it is, right here. When Going Through Hell, Don't Stop. A Survivor's Guide to Overcoming Anxiety and Clinical Depression. That book is yours. Nobody's made a joke. Oh my God, my kingdom for a joke. What's going on here? I can't believe it. 26 minutes into the hour, 27. No one has said a joke. I'm sorry you're feeling hopeless, Shana KK BB. You can actually, KK, you can find something. This is from Anthony Olsen, I believe. Why couldn't Beethoven find his music teacher? Because he was hiding. What do you call a bear with no teeth? Well, a gummy bear. And there's a new restaurant in town. I'm always wanting to go to new restaurants. It's called Karma. You get what you deserve. That's all from you guys. Every joke I tell is from somebody here. Is GAD curable? Will I be normal again? It's treatable. Curable? Nothing is curable. Well, that's a stupid thing to say. It's manageable, and yes, you can be normal. You can have a normal life. Absolutely. I have GAD. I've had it my whole life. What is the worst time to go to a dentist? Tooth hurty. Carrie Parker, if you were here, I'd throw water in your face. That was really bad. What do you call a fish with no eye? Caleb, that's great. Thank you. I got your book, Doug. Just prayers. Thank you. I will basically say prayers to you, El Tigre, any time of the day. And also, El Tigre, I think that's how you pronounce it in Spanish. Please call 1-800-1816-969-2000. Silent Unity. Anytime, day or evening or morning, you will get the best prayers of your life if you call this number, El Tigre. So for prayer, R-A-Y-E-R. 78 watching, 2 from 80. It is Super Soul Sunday. What is, for those of you who came in late, what is unique about this day? Those who were here earlier, tell them. Why is 02 2020 so special? Because it's a palindrome. If you read it the opposite direction, it's still 02 2020. And whether you do it in Britain or the United States, it still comes out the same. The first time in 911 years, absolutely, boys and girls, we should be, as I squeak this chair, we should be excited about this. We should be jumping up and down for joy. That such a wonderful thing is happening. Chomp chomps, I don't think like I'm in hell. I don't think I'm anywhere. I probably quit my engineering studies as the simple stuff goes higher than ISS over my head. Well, that's because you're feeling depressed. You're not yourself. Don't quit. Take time off. You will be restored. I promise you. Oh, don't know how to trust myself again? Well, you can trust yourself, Kay Bailey, once you basically start to feel better. It is a palindrome, but Washington, very good. Joke, astronomers get tired of watching the moon go around the Earth for 24 hours. They decide to call it a day. Robert Jenkins, thank you very much. The Blockheads, Lori B. Oh my God, you remember that. You remember that joke. Thank you, Lori B. And El Tigre, thank you very much. Keep it up. My pleasure. Now, are you named there? Does your name mean the tiger in Spanish? And if it does, how do you come by it? Gray SR, the president's too much for me to handle. There's no more hope. I won't make it till the end of next Sunday. Thanks for being amazing. Gray SR, your brain is giving you misinformation. You can make it to next Sunday. If you don't feel safe, go to the hospital. You have to do everything you can to keep yourself breathing, because where there's life, there is always hope. I'm telling you about hope being so important. And do you have people around you, friends, family members, who care about you? Does anybody know how desperate you are? You must stay in touch. You must reach out for support. That's why I'm alive right here. Because 4 years ago, yesterday, I got out of the psych hospital. My 5th time there, I had ECT. I was trashed. And then 9 months later, I was better. Marco Antov, can loneliness cause GAD? Yes, when I spend holidays with my family, I feel better without symptoms. Yes, yes, yes. Human connection, human connection. We're hardwired to connect. There's a book called Social about that. We are animals. We are mammals, mammals, mammals. We give birth to live young. We're like elephants and whales and dogs and cats. We are profoundly dependent on each other. More so than cats, of course. But by the way, crows are very social. Anyway, Lazy Orange Care Parker, too funny, reminds you of a friend who worked for a Jamaican. He ask him time to time every day, is it tree turdy, tree turdy? Okay, the hospital sends you home. Well, it's hard to get in the hospital, I agree. Sometimes, however, when you're real desperate, they'll take you in. All right. Who else can I talk to and help here? Great SR, you need to reach out and get some people in your corner. Am I on meds? You're talking to me? I'm on 2 meds, yes. Lagai, hey, Lagai and I have been having a nice correspondence. She said some very nice things on my YouTube comments. Nice to see you here from Canada. You stopped medication, Shana KK? I wonder why you did that. Did you tell your psychiatrist? Usually it's good to do things under the supervision of a doctor. Lazy Irish coined Blockheads. Well, thank you very much. We should say this is the meeting of the Blockheads every time I start. Yes, a tiger. Have to fight the big D. Thanks, Doug. And are you of Hispanic origin, or did you just get that name because you liked it? 80 watching now, a new record. Thank you, Muhammad. Actually, we did have 82 at one point. How to control the worst thoughts? Cancel, replace them with a better thought, or just let them go by like leaves going down a stream. What do I think about microdosing LSD, sir? Can I combine it with 125 milligrams of Zoloft? Talk to your doctor. People are microdosing psilocybin all the time. The FDA in the United States is testing psilocybin as a cure or as a treatment for depression. So, you know, but you're in uncharted territory, and it may work, but you definitely need to tell somebody about it, and make sure somebody's watching over you. Am I still fighting the awful D? It never completely goes away, but I'm doing much better. Robert Jenkins, $10 more. My God. We're going to call Robert Jenkins the patron saint of my YouTube channel. I'm going to call you PSY, the patron saint of YouTube. Thank you much for your donation one more time. So I'm in food engineering, and a few days ago we talked about fake food. What do you call a fake noodle? An impasta. Now that Chom was amazing. I'm going to cut and paste that for my next. I'm going to basically say, well, I'm doing a YouTube shooting on Tuesday. I'm going to say that, and I'm going to give you credit, Chom. If you want me to use your real name, let me know. But you are definitely getting credit for that joke. Sorry about that. Okay, I had to cut and paste that, and now we're back to the live chat. Thank you, Robert. Thank you, El Tigre, and thank you also Lori B for your donations. Really appreciate it. This is a labor of love, as you know. Okay, yes, Shauna BKK, stopping your meds is a mistake if you haven't talked to your doctor about it. Oh, hell I will. Very good, Lazy Eye Ranch. I didn't know you used to be a graphic artist. Yeah, one day at a time. How's that for being original? Uh, but you need to say that. It's really critical. One day at a time. Why is it so important to live one day at a time, guys? 80 people watching. Go, go team. Am I still in SSRIs? No, I'm not. The only SSRIs I ever took plummeted me into 2 major depressive episodes. I'm allergic to SSRIs, period. Uh, Zoloft gave me HPPD. I have no idea what HPPD is. Doesn't sound like it's good. 82 people watching. Thank you. Let's try to get to 90, shall we? George Bitrian, 3rd week completed at the gym after big depression. This is helping me a lot. Of course, of course, of course it is. Exercise is nature's antidepressant, boys and girls. Who made that up when you're going through hell don't stop? I've never heard that, Kay Bailey. Okay, here it is. Exercise. I want you to all write this down and copy it, and I want you to practice it this week. Exercise is nature's... Oh, I can't write. I'm sorry, and I need a computer that does voice recognition. Okay, nature is exercise is nature's antidepressant. If I can only get that right. Okay, here we are. Exercise is nature's antidepressant. Joan, is Bruce around anywhere? We need to have him say hello to the live chatters or the blockheads. Hey, Azali ABID, can you tell me any tips to reduce tension depression? Yeah, massage, sit in the hot tub, deep breathing. Grasser, I'm so tired of fighting. Every aspect of my life is a mess, but now I don't even have my health. How old are you? How old are you, Grasser? I just want to know. You're probably still young. Yes, Taco Platter, you can decide whether a thought is negative or positive. I agree with you. Worth a requote for sure, Doug. Is GAD an illness or a disorder? It's a mental health disorder. It's an anxiety disorder, and it can be treated without medication. Many people do. Again, go to a mental health counselor, professional. I have GAD, and I don't use tranquilizers to treat it. I use depression, mindfulness meditation, and lots of chocolate ice cream. What do you think about social constructionist argument about mental illness? I don't know what the social constructionist argument is. You might want to tell me, but there's a biological, a psychological, a social, and a spiritual component to mental illness. I'll tell you that. There's no one cause and there's no one cure or one treatment. Which is worse, clinical or situational? Well, if clinical means coming from endogenous, that's worse because it's always with you. Situational is, based on the situation. Your dog dies, of course you're going to be depressed. Robin Hood, I'm not going to let that show, but I think there's symptom, it's self-medication, and probably not, a good thing to do. Try feeling better a different way, but again, I'm not your doctor, so. Authentic Mexican food, chocolate ice cream, could you elaborate? That was a joke, authentic Mexican food. Chocolate ice cream is a tremendous mood enhancer, but it's not good for my health. I have pre-diabetic, so it was a joke. What I said, 2 things, deep breathing and exercise and chocolate ice cream. My attempt to be funny. Although many people do self-medicate using chocolate ice cream. All right, we have a new person here. It's called Grish Rakakrishnan. Does meditation help in coping with depression? Meditation is very helpful for many, many things. There's a book called The Mindful Way Through Depression by a very cool author. It talks all about the application of meditation to depression. You may want to get that book. Caleb, thank you thinking about Lagai. Yes, I was concerned about her too. I even sent her an email, and I'm glad she's doing better. That really makes me feel better. See, that's the whole key, boys and girls. What goes down must come up. Thoughts they come, they abide, and they fade away. They're not permanent. Sometimes you can feel like you want to end it all. In 15 minutes, you feel peaceful. You have to give things time. You have to wait these things out. Depression disorders, anxiety disorders, and in most cases are episodic. They have a beginning, they have a middle, they have an end, they have an expiration date. Think about your disorder. It was not always here and it won't always be here. It has an expiration date. Keep hope alive. Deep breathing lowers the heart rate. So it does. Biological depression is what I have. An imbalance of hormones need more T3. Guess what? I'm taking T3 Lori B and it feels much better. I go to a naturopath who says I'm low on reverse T3. You might want to find a naturopath in your area. They can be very good. Hormones do make a big difference to mood, right? Yes. Do I think Martin Seligman has some good insights into happiness and depression, says True Death? Martin Seligman, in my mind, is one of the greatest writers on mental health. I read his book, Learned Helplessness in college. I learned happiness, and he was one of the founders of positive psychology. Yes, yes, yes. Lagai, big hugs to you also. Martin Seligman is a great writer. I love all of his books. I highly recommend that people on this live chat read him. He has a lot to say. I don't have much friends because of anxiety. Yeah, well, that can be tough. But, you know, again, anxiety is treatable. Authentic Mexican food. Thank you for asking Greya Sar where she's from and how old she is. She's probably from somewhere in the Middle East, I'm guessing. Maybe not. I'm guessing she's probably under 50. You feel guilty about your mistakes, Sean BB? KK, guess what? I have a wonderful video called Forgive Yourself for Your Mistakes. 25 from the US. Wow, you're from the US. Wow. I guess you're in your 20s. You're a millennial. Well, of course you're depressed. Climate change, you're thousands of dollars in debt and you can't afford a house. I'd be depressed too. But in all seriousness, a lot of millennials have higher rates of opioid overdoses and suicides because of these situations that they're dealing with. And so it's a real thing. Koji, Sean KK, be your best friend, bro, like me. Can depression and anxiety be a nutritional deficiency? Many people think that low vitamin D and also low omega-3 fatty acids have something to do with depression. Anxiety, maybe not getting enough magnesium, but yes, what you put in your body affects your mind and spirit, absolutely. Lazy Eye Ranch has a question about Dr. Peter Bregman's videos. He's a Harvard-educated psychiatrist who no longer prescribes benzos and most antidepressants. Yes, I think Peter Bregman is an extremist, Lazy Eye Ranch. I think he throws out the baby with the bathwater. I think that you should try to get better without meds, but they do have a place and they can be useful. So I don't subscribe to most of what he says. Yes, you're very young, Gray. You're in the land of opportunities. I care for you. Authentic medical food, you are what we call in Yiddish a mensch. I don't know if you're a male or female, but God bless you. Grish Radhakrishnan, all I want to say is thank you for your YouTube channel. I did manage to cope with my anxiety at least to some extent. Well, good. It can be copable. It can be treatable. Please. Yeah, I don't know, Jess Jonah, I don't know, I haven't followed your conversation, but if you broke up with somebody and you're looking at their pictures with another man, you should definitely stop that because that's just going to re-trigger you. Oh, I see. How does one deal with depression caused by infidelity? We're divorced now and living together again. Well, I would say that maybe you guys can go to a couples counselor and just process your feelings about it. I'm sure she probably feels guilty, or she might. It's very painful, but go looking at pictures of her from the past is only going to trigger you. So I'm glad you've reconciled, but you know, marriage is very hard work. Relationships are hard work. I've been together with Joan for 35 years, man. We've had our ups and downs. Every couple does. Every relationship does. Every parent and child does. So even relationships are important for our mental health, but boy, they can be difficult. You know what Jean Paul Sartre said, the great, great existential French philosopher? Hell is other people. Isn't that amazing? Other people are our saviors, and they also can put us in hell. How about that for a double-edged sword? So if you're living with your ex-wife, you guys get into some good relationship counseling and try to work it out. And, you know, again, I can't diagnose or treat, but couples counseling can be really, really helpful. I can't take any more, sis, Steve. Remember what my therapist told me? I said the pain is bearable. She said, say the pain is barely bearable. So why don't you say I can hardly take it? Yeah, thank you, Lori B. I love your little written. Is that? I mean, I do think that I do know that meds can cause akathisia. You're absolutely right. I had it myself, but and some people do have bad reaction to meds. It's straight up speed. No, it isn't. It's not an amphetamine. I've been on Wellbutrin for 4 years. MD Nixon, get your facts straight. Wellbutrin is an antidepressant that works on the dopamine receptors, the pleasure center in your mind. It's not an amphetamine. It's an antidepressant. Seriously. Anyway. Lori B says, my pleasure, Mary. It is the go-to site. They will help you with it on their Facebook group. And what is the go-to site, Lori B? Yeah, check out Stop the Thyroid Madness. Oh, those symptoms are very common after a thyroidectomy. Thank you, Lori B. I didn't even know that. This is amazing, Douglas, a great profound quote. And what is the quote that I said? Please. I talk so much and so fast, I don't even remember what I said. Like the woman who's on chapter 7 and can't remember the first 6 of my book, or week 7. I said something. Tell me what it was if it's cool. The worst thing about mental illness is the beating yourself up. Absolutely. Love is a drug. It's a wonderful drug. Okay, what did you find funny? I cannot even keep pace with your jokes. BB, I'm really sick with depression, akathisia, anxiety, and psychological withdrawals. I know, isn't it hell? Depression is hell. Mental illness is hell. War is hell. But when going through hell, don't stop. Hey, Abdullah, my Steve, Mind Warriors, where's Steve Young? He used to be here all the time. All right. What was funny, Chom Choms? Tell me the joke. I can't find it. Too many people commenting. Anyone ever tried Efexor? I went on it for a day and my anxiety almost disappeared pretty good. Then I got off because I felt ashamed about really in a depression. Well, that's ridiculous. I don't feel ashamed about wearing glasses. My friend who's diabetic doesn't feel ashamed about wearing, about having to take insulin. I said, you're not ridiculous. You're amazing. But to have shame for having a mental health disorder and needing medication is no longer the case in the 21st century where we are. A mental health disorder, a brain disorder is like any other disorder. That's like saying if someone who had a heart attack, don't take blood thinners to prevent clots. If Efexor helps, go for it. I want to be like a newborn baby. Yeah, so do we all, except sometimes newborn babies cry a lot. All right, we have 80 people watching, and I'm trying to keep track of these questions. You finally become one of your patrons, just like the small amount as a thank you for your videos. It's just knowing I'm not completely alone when life and emotions feels hell. Jem, when did you become a patron? I never got notified, unless they used your real name. By the way, if anybody wants to make small monthly donations as low as $2 a month, we got a lot of $5 a month people here. If you go to patreon.com and you type in my name, Douglas Block Depression, you can learn how to be a monthly sustainer. 48 minutes after the hour, 78 people watching. We have 12 minutes left. We could definitely use a couple more donations. We are ill and we're proud, says Jason Clolo. To quote James Brown, say it loud, I'm depressed and I'm proud. Yeah, well, Butrin is working well. Yeah, the SSRIs made you sick. They made me sick. So everybody needs something differently. Any suggestions to improve brain fog and memory issues? Yes, a good diet. Make sure you're getting your omega-3 fatty acids and walnuts or fish, or maybe even fish oil, and exercise every day. Boy, that clears up my mind fog. Just, here are the 3 basics. The 3 basics. What are the 3 basics? Sleep, diet, and exercise. I'm gonna do a video on that. The 3 basics, okay, everybody? You got to get these all in order if you want to feel well emotionally. Sleep being the most important one, exercise being the second most important, and diet. We have to work on all 3 because how we feel physically affects how we feel emotionally. You cannot separate the 2. The mind, the body, the brain, the nervous system, the heart, the lungs, the liver, it's all connected. Is it a problem to stop anxiety medication? Yeah, especially if it's benzos, you can have withdrawals. You need to talk to your doctor before you play around with your medication. Oh, they removed your thyroid, they found cancer, so you got the cancer handled? Good for you. Antidepressants and the link to Alzheimer's, I don't think there's any. Authentic medical food, I have issues with my vision, loss of hearing, my pigment is fading, I'm losing hair, and now whoops, hold on. No, my teeth enamel have worn away. Well, so what's going on? There must be some physical reasons. Are you seeing treatment from a doctor or an oral surgeon, or somebody who basically works with the mouth, or any other thing you're dealing with? What? It's a cousin to cocaine? What the hell is he talking about? Oh my God. Different drugs do different things to different people. Wellbutrin does not rev me up, and I'm a high-strung person. I look to the health food store. I go to a health food store to look for some natural help. I think, well, Caleb, that's a good thing, but it's always a here. I haven't shown this to you guys in a while because so many of you want it, but healing from depression, right? 5 areas of physical self-care. And if you look here, it says medication and exercise and nutrition and sleep, all good for the physical body. So it's not a matter of either or, it's a matter of both and. The more things you can take from this chart, the more things you can take from this chart to do, the more things you combine. You must treat depression multidimensionally from all fronts because it's a multidimensional illness. It's physical, emotional, mental, social, spiritual. You have to work with that on all fronts. That's what Andy Weil says, and he's a genius. My good buddy, I don't know him personally, but I've spent time with him, from Harvard. He wrote a book called Spontaneous Healing. He's got an amazing website, and he has a newsletter. So there you have it. Mr. Dhammapaji, I love your work. Well, thank you from Italy. No, I know you're from India. Huge hugs to you, Gray. You're dealing with a lot. You really worried about dying? Well, yes, so am I. I'm 71. I was good when I used medicine. Well, then you should keep on the medicine. Again, talk to your doctor, talk to your doctor. You're exhausted from anxiety, so are all of us. Have your vitamin D level and your B well. Thank you, Shirley. I forgot to mention B12. Low B12 is a symptom of is a cause of depression. Hey, Joan, who's inside? We have a visitor. I want to know who it is. I'm out of here in 8 minutes. Uh-oh, there's only 12% left on my computer. Hey, Joni? Where would I be without Joan? I'd be toast. Jabadi is with anxiety. Any help? Yes, just visualize things going well. Tell yourself, I am cool, calm, and collected. I am cool, calm, and collected. Prepare, prepare, prepare. I used to give public speeches all of the time, and I was always, public speaking, I was always anxious. But if I prepared and I knew my stuff, the anxiety went down. It's very difficult to take medicine a long time. Well, it depends on what medicine is. Some people take antidepressants forever. Some people take insulin forever. They should. Depression hates a moving target. One of my best videos, it was the last one I put up there. Tips on finding a partner. I've been trying since years. Well, God, there are so many books on how to find your true love. Here's what I would just say. Do things, go places where people are doing the same things you like to do, and you'll meet somebody by osmosis. If you like to hike, join a hiking club. If you like to paint, do an art, take a painting class. Go places where people are doing what you like to do, or go to a meetup group. When I'm 71, I hope I'm DRAD for 20 years. I'm not quite sure what that means, sequin 99, but I've been taking meds for over 20 years, says Jason Kalul. Yeah, well, I've been on them off and on since the time I've been 18. Has anyone else had multiple jobs? I've had like 10 since I was young. My mind just takes control sometimes. Yes, I had multiple jobs until I found out I was psychologically unemployable. You work as an engineer? Oh, Jason, you're a man of many talents. A joke, a kingdom for a joke. We have 6 minutes left. My computer is dying. I'm so grateful my doctor let me go back on, hormone replacement treatment. It's helped me more than anything. I never had anxiety until menopause at 56. Well, good for you. See, it takes many, many different things to work with depression and anxiety. You got to treat it on all fronts. Well, never mind, Douglas. We'll keep the information and opinion about Binging My Life. Anyone who takes it, if it helps you, that's great. Well, I completely agree with you, MD Nixon. I totally support you. For some people, medication causes anxiety. You're absolutely right. What I was just trying to say was it's not that way for everybody. That's why it's all about trial and error. So if you have a bad reaction to Wellbutrin, of course, stop it. Work with your doctor. Find something that does work. So I wasn't trying to kind of deny your reality. I was just saying that, it's antidepressants are a mixed bag. Yes. Why did the man found on the wall? Because you couldn't see that well. Oh my God. Choms, where'd you get this? What was that chart I showed? It was a chart that took 20 years to basically create. It's a chart of all the different ways that you can have lifestyle activities can help your mood. This is not a treatment for depression, but there are all these different things that you can do that will change your brain chemistry, and you can combine it with regular traditional treatment. Great, hang in there. I know it's difficult to Shirley K. Appointments sometimes freak me out, so I asked a friend to go with me. That's right. It's good to have an extra set of ears and plus a hand to hold if you get scared. Thank you, Shirley K. You are so right. If you can't exercise because you're too stuck, call in the troops. If you're afraid of going to the doctor, call in the troops. Always have someone come with you. Human beings are designed to help and to support each other. That's what it's about. Okay, we have 3 minutes and 48 seconds left. And Shauna Kieke says, I have a fear of dying. Well, it's good. A fear of dying is your survival mechanism protecting you. Of course you have a fear of dying. That's built into the system. That's a good protection. That means you should stay around until you get better. Huh. Okay, is it a chemically based amphetamine, MD Nixon? You know more than I do. I've been taking it off on it for years. I've been in the field for a half a century. No one has said that, but you're probably right. I will look it up. I don't know that Wellbutrin is related to amphetamines, but let's say that it is. For some people who are very sluggish, it could stimulate them and help them get energy. So again, it's everybody relies on different medications. So Wellbutrin is a mess for some people. It's a blessing for others. So that's what I'm saying. But yeah, I'll go look it up. The chemical structure and the mechanism that works in the brain. All right, well, maybe that's why I like it, because I like coffee. Kyle, thanks. Did you show it another video? I didn't really see it at all. Well, if you go to my website, healingfordepression.com, and go to brain wellness, you'll see that diagram. I forgot to put up exercise, sleep, and diet. Oh my God, I thought I put it up there. No, that's the basics. Is it as simple as 2 to 2 to get well? Yes, essentially, but is it easy? No. Lagai, you're 71 years old. You and I are born the same year. What year were you? We were born in 48? I was born in 49. Lagai, I had no idea you were my age. Wow. Amazing. Can even lead to destructive outcomes, Girish? That's a fight or flight. Oh, can even lead to destructive outcomes. I see. Lagai, we should get together and say happy birthday. I would never want to join a club that would have me as a member, says Lazy Eye Ranch. That's basically Groucho Marx. What is the best natural medicine for anxiety? It all depends. Different people have different responses to different chemicals and different substances. Laura says ashwagandha helps with anxiety. Well, it is an adaptogen, and yes, it can reduce stress, but it depends. Everybody is different. And if you want to take ashwagandha or any of these so-called natural herbs, you should do it under the auspices of a naturopath or someone who knows what they're doing. 52 seconds left. 6% left on the computer. What's going to die first, the computer or the live chat? Probably the live chat will finish before the computer. Anyway, Trite76, thanks. Your stream means a lot to me. It means a lot to me too. Thank you very much. Thanks, Shirley. No friends at this point in my life. I have a family. They don't have time. My mom thinks I'm a hypochondriac. Well, you're not, of course, and you're only 25. You must keep on trying. Your brain doesn't even form till 26. You live in America? Go to meetup.com and find some groups. We should chat on the phone, Lagai. Okay, so, sorry for that squeaking. www.meetup.com. Yes, go there to meet people. Anybody going to watch the Super Bowl besides me? Anybody have any favorites? I think Anthony said he's from Kansas City. And Kyle is from Texas, which is close to Kansas City. I got to bounce, Blockheads. Have a beautiful Sunday. Lori B., I love the name Lori. There was a woman named Lori who saved my life in 1982. I'll always thank her. Okay, extended release, MD Nixon is saying. I'm not quite sure what medication is, but a lot of them are extended released. After this, I'm attempting to make a vegan BBQ out of weird fruit, jackfruit. Has anyone tried it? Yes, I've heard about it. I'm happy that I feel like this. I lost interest in everything. Now I have a list. See, Lazy Eye Ranch? You can recover from depression. What goes down must come up. You must show other people that recovery is possible. Oh, you're from SF, Laura? Nice. And Lori B says, I've been on Wellbutrin 22 years, 150 milligrams per day. Wow. So getting back to MD Nixon, again, I want to clear up any misunderstanding. Wellbutrin might be related to being an amphetamine. It might have the same structure. Ultimately, the question is, does it help you or does it hinder you? Every antidepressant, every medication has two sides, depending on the person. Biochemical individuality rules the day. One man's meat is truly another man's poison. Yeah, The Power of Now. I just did a video based on it. It's coming out. Oh, you live in Dubai. Wow, that's a big city. All right, so what did I just say? Oh my God, I was going to write something down that was really profound, but now I've forgotten it. Oh yes, and now I've remembered it, and this will be the last thing I write before we say goodbye. Biochemical individuality. Everybody is different. Everybody reacts to medications or substances in their own way, and that biochemical individuality rules. Okay, so any last donations? It's now 5 minutes after the hour. I need to leave, but you still have 10 minutes to talk to each other, and if anybody would like to make a last minute donation, even $5, that'd be appreciated. Yes, cannabis helps trigeminal neuralgia. Medical marijuana does help with pain, absolutely. All right. Yeah, okay, well, great. No, MD Nixon, you've inspired me to do research on Wellbutrin. You're probably right. It probably does have an amphetamine-based structure. And like you said, for some people it's good, for some people it's not. Yes, The Mindful Way Through Depression is a great book, and he didn't write it, by the way. John Kabat-Zinn did not write that book, but he's a huge proponent of mindfulness. Anyway, enjoy the Super Bowl, enjoy the day. We'll be back next week on the 9th of February. Happy Groundhog's Day, by the way. Bill Murray on the Super Bowl has a 60-second commercial based on Groundhog Day, the first and only commercial he's done nationally. It's for Jeep, and they must have paid him at least $2 million, I'm telling you. Anyway, it's very funny. Look it up on YouTube. Bill Murray doing a commercial for Jeep based on his great 1993 film, my favorite film of all time, Groundhog Day. And until we see you again, I wish you the best in your mental health recovery. And Sean up KK, are you saying I should continue medication? I'm saying you should talk to your doctor, and if the medication is helping you and you agree together, then you should keep taking it. But it's all about consulting your doctor. The Awakened Wolf, nice to see you at the last second. Yes, Kriya Asar, don't give up, please. You're only 25. I was in a mental institution when I was 26, so you know, the 20s are basically a trying time. It will and it can get better, and until we meet again, I wish you all the best in your mental health recovery.